to a meeting, Gary, maybe one, didn't go to any of our informational seminars, maybe one early on. Sorry, you didn't respect us, you shoved us in 2 little rooms, you didn't give us time to speak, you went ahead and did what you thought, was best, I guess, for I'm not sure who, because the community was speaking loud and clear. I'm not going to leave the casino behind until the casino is behind, which for us is not over. So understand that. Your last comment about how we should all be, working together to do things over the next year is disingenuous. When you read, don't give me the raised eyebrows. When you read a letter at the end of that comment, which talks about complimenting you and the board, sorry, I don't see that as a, let's all sing Kumbaya together. I see that as a cheap political ploy to compliment yourself and the board and get off the hook from everyone in East Greenbush who is still very angry. I'm not in the holiday spirit. My husband asked me, are you happy? Do you feel good? I said, I feel depressed. I feel angry. And I do. You can hear it in my voice. I'm depressed and I'm angry. Understand, we're angry still. We're not going away. We will work with you to do what we can to move the town forward, to support good work. I'm not a kinder, gentler Jack Conway. We will continue to work together, but we won't forget. We won't forget. And your comments tonight only solidified my anger. It didn't help. I don't know what you were thinking, saying that and reading a letter at the end of it all that complimented yourselves. And you did not say...
I didn't compliment myself. A member of the East Greenbush Fire Department made a compliment to this board because they were on the other side of the issue.
I understand that. Where in your comments tonight did any of you say, and you know what? We have respect for the people who gave so passionately of their time for their belief about what was good for East Greenbush. You made a very small comment about I felt respect for the people who live on Thompson Hill Road. Well, I don't live on Thompson Hill Road. We all gave of our time, our money. We're going to have to continue to. It's not over for us. And understand that not being over for us means it's not over for you. That's all I have to say.
Thank you.
I'll be quick. I just actually want to, for you guys, I'm going to ask you guys, I actually wasn't going to speak, I said that a lot of times coming up here. But I actually thought it was a no-brainer that you guys would vote yes to the ethics hearing. It's just a public hearing, you're not even voting on the resolution. However, obviously, after Jack spoke, that's not going to happen probably. If there's one thing that, I just met most of these people in this room the last 8 months who are very passionate. If there's one other thing that they're passionate about other than the casino, it's this ethics meeting. It's the board of ethics. So if you don't pass this today, you're not getting rid of us. You're not getting rid of most of us, but you're certainly not going to get rid of this ethics issue. They're not asking to rewrite the law. They're asking to amend the law. It's all right here. It's not going to take months. I'm not a lawyer, but you can contact the Department of State and contact their lawyers, and this is what they gave you too. I didn't speak to them about this, but this is all exactly what they gave you. You don't have to rewrite it. The New York State Department wrote it for us. So if that's what you're concerned about, you don't have to look into it. That's not going to take months. That's already done. They already did their job. You can call the lawyers. You can hire another lawyer, but that's there. So if you're concerned by voting yes about your political career, voting no will solidify that you're on your political career, because the fact that you worry about politics and ethics doesn't make sense. I get you guys are political, but the whole point of the ethics work is to take politics out of it.
Yes.
So we're not worried about your political career. That's the point of the ethics board. That's our problem. So that's why we want this resolution, so we have a say in the ethics. That's all I have to say.
Hello. So three of the people on this board have terms that end on the last day of 2015, correct? That's when your terms end. Does there exist any procedure to remove some of these people before then? Because There's nothing that can be done.
No, there's no recall in New York State.
There's no kind of special impeachment for gross violation of, absolutely nothing. If some of you voted together to remove one of each other, that would. Okay, thank you.
Go ahead.
We don't want to get ready to be a, we really don't. It was just a question.
Have your once a month punch in there, go for it.
Tom Fairfax, 3 Celeste Drive. Every time I come in each month, I think of how much I treasure the time I spend with each and every one of you. Couple of things, DPW, echo Eileen a little bit. I think they did one heck of a job during the last snowstorm. This was a particularly complicated snowstorm. I'm not a meteorologist, but that snow that progressed over the multiple days, to me, seemed to be more difficult than if you got hammered with the snow in one day. I think they did a heck of a job. I think they were highly professional. I can't say enough good things about Anthony and Danny and the crews that went out there risking everything and keeping our streets safe. And I certainly appreciate that. One aside, if I was a DPW person, either the commissioner or the deputy commissioner, I would almost insist on having a workload analysis done. Because I think it's very possible you're woefully understaffed. And I think it looks like even a cursory workforce analysis might provide some very strong justification for increasing the staff at DPW. And I think it's very important that Secondly, I'll just mention the casino tangentially, because I got to meet a person who I hadn't really known well before, Allison Lovely, who is the secretary for both the planning board and the zoning board of appeals. She was in probably the most difficult position I think any town employee was put in. This is a controversial project, a difficult project, required an immense amount of paperwork and coordination of various boards and groups and individuals who are interested in this. She hung in there. She was courteous and professional to every single person she met, no matter what side of the issue they were on. I can't commend her enough. She is a valued employee in my humble opinion. I think you guys should commend her. You know, you have a potential $300 million project in a town of 16,000
I
residents.
do that about every morning when I come in, I say, good morning, Allison, you're doing a great job.
And I'm sure she appreciates it, Keith. That's
But
good.
she does an excellent job.
She certainly does. Well, thank you for being with me. Appreciate it. It's great. Blew my eye. I like it. The ethics board, I think you should consider having a public hearing. You're not looking to necessarily pass the ethics code. I think, again, folks would learn an awful lot from a public hearing of where people are on this ethics, and maybe they can even improve the legislation at a public hearing. One thing you can do tonight, just generally on the public hearings, your resolution 144-2014, the sewer fee increase, and I referenced this in the special meeting as well. I think you could strike a real blow for good government and sound public policy if you postpone that consideration for that resolution 1 month. I would encourage you again, as I said at the special, to try and develop a policy if you could.
Wait, I'm sorry.
Pardon me?
Postpone what for a month?
144-2014, the sewer fee increase. I would encourage you to develop as a policy as the board to have a public hearing, not 15 minutes before a regularly scheduled board meeting, but have the public hearing, again, elicit comments from people at the hearing and maybe be receptive to emails from constituents on the issue involved, the legislation or the resolution involved. And maybe, as I said before, maybe it was just nonsense, maybe you won't get anything back, but it's quite possible with this group of people who represent East, who live in East Greenbush and attend these meetings, that you might get some really productive ideas that you might not have thought of yourselves. So I think you have an opportunity to strike a blow for good government tonight by voluntarily postponing or deferring action on 144-2014 to send a message in general to the people of East Greenbush that when you have a public hearing, you're not going to immediately take the vote on the resolution at the